Absolutely. Yeah, I think switching over to iPhone was probably one of the best lifestyle investments I've made in the last couple of years for that very reason. Just, it's amazing the number of things I can do or access or consume because I have that one little device in my hand. It's insane. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, and after one of the meetup groups I was at, there was a group of us and we're like, hey, let's go get something to eat. And we were in an area that was a little bit unfamiliar to us. And I open up the iPhone, open up an app, and it's an app called Around Me, I think it's called. And I just went up restaurant, and it picks everything based on your exact location. You can do ratings. I mean, this is just crazy. Like, when in history have we ever been able to do that? Never.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's awesome.
It's awesome. All right, well, that brings us to the final number 7, and I guess there's kind of a theme to some of the stuff that we've been going. A theme of independence and freedom and choice and deciding what you want and making what you want happen in life, right? Which is always a theme that we have in Internet Business Mastery. So I guess to cap it off, we can, number 7 for me is just, freedom and autonomy in general and our ability these days to achieve that for ourselves. And, when I'm talking about, okay, I'm grateful for freedom, I'm not just saying, the usual idea of people say, I'm so grateful to live in a free country. I'm talking about something very, very different here. And this is something that happens. I mean, my mission in life is to find more freedom for myself and to help others find increased freedom. And that's on many levels. I'm not just talking like a political freedom. I'm talking, one that starts even at the level of an individual, being very self-aware of yourself and what you want and the beliefs and feelings and emotional and mental and psychological tapes that play in your head that cause your life to play out in different ways. And sometimes we can very much be enslaved by those things. So it starts at a very basic level like that, and then goes all the way up to, autonomy just from government and other systems. I mean, it's amazing the number of systems that we've become dependent on these days, and the number of kind of illusions that we buy into that cause us to, just to really, when you think about it, be enslaved by certain aspects of the society and the systems that we live in, all the way from an individual level to the family level to a government level to, so on and so forth. And these days we have billions of opportunities for increased freedom. And I guess this is something we could talk about forever, not to get too in depth in it. But, I guess it's just a question of asking what is true security. And it's become very, very, the juxtaposition of this has been very, very evident over the last year or so with, the quote unquote economic climate that we're living in. And, there's people out there understandably living very much in fear because they have a job, or they've lost their job, or they already, or they have a job and they're afraid of losing it any day because job loss is a common occurrence these days. And people saying, I haven't gotten a raise for 3 years, so my income's not even keeping up with inflation and things like this. And so what does that do? Well, it enslaves your life in so many ways when you're afraid of and subject to your job and whether or not you're going to keep your job and the boss and whatever he wants you to do in order to keep him happy so you don't lose your job. And having to live in a certain place in order to keep your job. And just think of all the ways that affects and essentially enslaves your life. Now, maybe you have chosen the exact job that you love, and it happens to be in the exact place in the world that you want to live, and that every day you get to work with people that are just fantastic, and you do have control over your own time, and your boss isn't the kind of person who makes you do ridiculous things and jump through hoops just to keep him happy. If that's the case, awesome. I hope you do feel free in that situation.
And we want to know your name because you may be the only person.
Yeah. But, to over the last several months, year plus, that, we see these things going on, and, I hear these from people around me. It's like, wow, I'm so grateful to have my own business, to know the things I know, to be able to create my own opportunities, to have a business that's growing and making me more money in a time when most people are just hoping not to get cut from their jobs and they're not getting raises at all. When you understand the entrepreneurial principles and the internet business concepts and fundamentals that we teach, you're able to give yourself your own pay raise at any time. You can go out and find and create a new opportunity, and your time is not limited because you know how to do that in a scalable way. So you can add on more and more to your business without having to work harder and harder. You know, like the employee or the self-employed dollars for hours type person. It gets you out of that slave to dollars for hours, slave to time, slave to an employment. And you know, society taught for many, many, many years that employment was security, and that security was freedom, freedom from stress and freedom from worrying about where your next paycheck would come to. Well, that's certainly been flipped on its head now. And that's why a business like ours is doing better and better, because people are now going, wow, that was a bunch of bunk that I was taught. It's like, where's the security now? I'm afraid for my, you know, wages for next week and being able to buy food. And you know, when you understand the opportunities that there are out there online and with your own ideas and your own passions and your own expertise that you can go out and create for yourself, you know, all of a sudden you're no longer afraid. You could take my business away from me tomorrow. And that's, you know, if something happened, I mean, I realize something could happen and, you know, my business could go, you know, poof, for whatever reason, like something crazy could happen. These things happen. It doesn't matter, because you know what? I know I have the skills to pick up and make something else happen very, very quickly tomorrow. And so I can distinctly remember when that fear of like, oh man, what if I'm going to have to go back and get a job again someday to support myself? When I finally realized I'm never going to have to get a job again in my life, because I now have the skills and the confidence and the ideas necessary to create whatever I need for myself to live the life that I want to live and provide for myself. And, you know, I don't need to be a millionaire. I don't need a mansion. I just want freedom. And that's what internet business has provided for us. So freedom and autonomy is number 7. You have any additional thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's, I think you covered them all. I mean, this, honestly, all of these different reasons, like the relationship and the ability to create and maintain them online, learn from and teach the world, to know and do what we love most, to develop and cultivate your passion and interests like never before, location independence, long tail media and technology, and freedom and autonomy. I mean, the great thing about all of these is that they lead to more happiness. And that's why we think these reasons are so awesome.
Because happiness is awesome.
Yeah, happiness definitely has to be, you know, what is it? Maybe the highest, one of the highest principles and reasons for life. Get some happiness in there.
That and Chipotle burritos.
Uh-oh.
Did I mention
that's moving in, huh?
Grand opening of Chipotle downstairs? I mean, the apartment complex we live in, downstairs, ground floor, is all retail. And tomorrow morning, Chipotle burritos. I mean, outside the U.S., people might be scratching their head and going, I have no idea what that is, but it's goodness in a burrito. That's all I can say right there, man.
They better reserve a spot for you every day.
It's dangerous because there's a lot of calories in those things. Dang.
Are there?
Well, you put the guacamole and the sour cream and it starts adding up, and now it's like, I mean, I could, as of tomorrow morning, I could leave the seat I'm sitting in right now and be eating one of those burritos in like 3 minutes flat. I mean, that's dangerous.
And you have the freedom to do so.
And I have the freedom to do so, which is completely awesome. All right, well, there you go. That's kind of our special episode, digging into 7 reasons why online business and life are so awesome right now. Just kind of in the vein of being happy and I mean, there's a lot of tough stuff going on out there right now, and we realize that. But we wanted to also recognize there's a lot of really great stuff out there at our access, and in the spirit of Thanksgiving, at least here in the States and North America. We thought that an episode like this with a little bit of optimism and the things that we can be happy about and that can bring us happiness would be a great episode to have. So there are the 7 reasons that we put together, and we'd love to hear yours. So make your way back to the blog for Internet Business Mastery number 78 and let us know what is a reason why life is so awesome for you, or why internet business is so awesome for you right now, and share that with the whole community back at internetbusinessmastery.com in the comments for episode number 78. All right, we got a quick breakthrough for you this episode. This one comes from Academy member Marin Kate, who says, I launched my first ever membership site and have gotten great reviews as well as quite a few signups and members, considering it's only 2 weeks old. So that is going way better than expected. I'm incredibly happy with its success so far. I haven't even search engine optimized or barely used AdWords at all, and I'm already getting lots of registrants. The site is up at Tweeterpreneur, tweeterpreneur.com. She said she continues, I started 5 months ago on Internet Business Mastery Academy, and I knew nothing, absolutely nothing about internet business except what I'd learned by selling on eBay. This course really can work if you work at it and just don't give up. So again, that's tweeterpreneur.com, and we'll link to that in the show notes. So that's awesome, Maren. We're thrilled to hear that your membership